Hello, cinema friends. Welcome to another edition of Cinesundry. I'm your host, Markus Seaberry, and today we're going back to the Marvel Cinematic Universe once again as we review Thor: Love and Thunder. Okay, now before we get into our review of Thor: Love and Thunder, I want to remind you about our rating system. There it is. Now, that top score, that is our tour. That is normally reserved for those projects that are top shelf, best of the best, normally some of the best projects you've seen all year. And that middle score, appropriately enough, is middling. Those are those films that had potential of promise but just didn't quite deliver on that potential of promise, and they wind up being just okay. And that bottom score is hack. That is for those terrible, dismal, abysmal, god-awful projects that probably shouldn't have been made in the first place. And now that you know our rating system, let's get into the rundown. Okay, Thor: Love and Thunder sees Thor reunite with his band of friends, band of heroes, as they fight to protect the universe from Gorr, the God Butcher. And let's talk about script and acting. Man, this script. It's just all over the place to me. Like, it goes from really wacky and goofy to really dark and grim. And I just feel like both parts suffer because there's not a cohesive link. But let's talk about the acting. We have a solid cast. First, we have Chris Hemsworth. You know him from several Marvel Cinematic Universe productions. He plays Thor. He's playing Thor yet again. You see the maturation and growth of Thor. You know, in the earlier projects, he was kind of arrogant and pompous. But in these, he's kind of calmed down. You see that softer side. You kind of see him as a lovable oaf, a big, overgrown goof who will still hit something with a hammer. So it's another solid performance from Chris Hemsworth. And then next we have Natalie Portman. Now, you know Natalie Portman from the Star Wars prequels or from V for Vendetta, films like that. And her Dr. Jane Foster is back in the Thor movies, but this time she has gained possession of Thor's old hammer, Mjolnir, and now she's a Thor. She's the mighty Thor, kind of like Thor, but in a lady form. And she gives a good performance. She kind of comes across as an eager new hero, but it doesn't seem over the top. And there's still moments between her and Chris Hemsworth, they try to figure out kind of where their relationship went wrong. It's a good performance from Natalie Portman. No surprise. She's a vet. And also we have Tessa Thompson. And you may know Tessa Thompson from the Netflix film Passing or from the Creed movies. And she's back reprising her role from Thor Ragnarok as Valkyrie. They try to flesh Valkyrie out a little bit more in this film, but basically she's there to kick butt, be supportive / be sarcastic to her friends. Tessa Thompson does a great job. I think she does the best with what she's given, but she's not given a lot. And next we have Taika Waititi. Taika Waititi, who's also the director of this film, plays Gorr. Gorr is a giant rock guy who we were also first introduced to in Thor Ragnarok. He's kind of silly, he's kind of goofy, he's mainly a comic relief character, but you do get to see some sincerity and earnestness in the character, and they kind of deal with his desires a little bit more to kind of round the character out. So it's a good performance from Taika. And rounding out our cast is Christian Bale. He's the bad guy. He's Gorr the God Butcher. Now, you may have seen Christian Bale in Terminator Salvation, Shaft, American Psycho, the Christopher Nolan Batman movies, Ford versus Ferrari. Just so many movies. He's approaching that acting OG status that I talk about. This is just a masterful, multi-layered performance from Christian Bale as Gorr the God Butcher. He's sympathetic in his origin, then later on he's cunning, ruthless, sadistic. I really, really, really enjoyed his performance as Gorr. Christian Bale put on a master's class, and we're the better for it. And now let's talk about director's technique. The director of this film is Taika Waititi, who also plays Korg. He does films like Things We Do in the Dark, a lot of films that kind of tackle dark moments and silly moments in humor. That's kind of where he lives. And he's also the co-writer. And again, I just wish we could have had a little more cohesion between the silly, absurd moments and the grim, dark, super creepy moments. It feels like two different movies, and it feels like neither movie delivers on this potential. Like, you have two okay movies, and I wanted one great movie. And now let's talk about sentiment and rating. Okay, my sentiment when I left the movie theater when the lights went up was disappointment, guys, because, man, the trailers had me hyped for this. The previous film, Thor Ragnarok, had me hyped for this. I was expecting a fun ride, a wild ride, a magic carpet ride, if you will. But it just didn't quite come together for me. Like I keep saying, it's like two different movies. It's like, hey, we're fun and wacky and goofy, or no, we're grim, dark, real serious and creepy. It's just, I just needed some kind of happy medium point somewhere to bring it all together for me. I did not get that, and now I'm saddened that an actor of Christian Bale's caliber is so good in such a mediocre project. My heart goes out to you, Mr. Bale, and I have to give Thor: Love and Thunder a rating of middling. And while I'm at it, I'm probably going to give Phase 4 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe a score of middling too. Mr. Feige, I don't see the connections. I need some connecting of dots. I just don't see it. I am trusting you. I am leaning on the fact that the films are still enjoyable, but make it make sense, as the young kids say. Well, all right, that's going to do it for this edition of Cinesundry. I've been your host, Markus Seaberry. And remember, as always, we ask that you like the video, comment down below on the video, and subscribe to the On Location Memphis YouTube channel. And remember, take some time and treat yourself to a movie. See you next time.